Hey guys, yay! I tried it the first time and it did not work. So we're here, we're live. I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to jump on if they can while we're live. So I hope everything is going awesome during this challenge. We're on day 2. So yesterday, if you're joining us for the first time, we talked about your why and why it's important for it to be raw and making you a little bit vulnerable. And we talked about having a goal, a SMART goal. And we also talked about positive affirmations, mantras, and quotes, and how they can really add to making your journey successful. So I'm just going to check in the group to make sure I can see myself, because technology is amazing. And we'll wait a few more minutes. Also, my dogs were bite fighting in the background, so if you see that, don't worry. They do it a lot. So today we are talking nutrition and how important it is in reaching your goal. A lot of times people really focus on the physical activity aspect of reaching your health goals, but nutrition kind of hits the back burner. But anyways, let me introduce myself if you're not sure who I am. My name's Elizabeth, and this is the Daily Fit Challenge, where we're building a solid foundation for creating healthy habits and goals. A little bit of housekeeping before we get into the meat of the live training. Make sure that if you know somebody who you think would really benefit from this challenge, go ahead and share it with them. You can either add them to the group, you can share your emails that you're getting with them, but really make sure that they sign up on the challenge sign up. So in the comments, after I get done live, I will put the sign up that they can go to sign up so that they can get the emails as well. But they can definitely join in the middle of the challenge, because at the end of the challenge, I'm going to kind of, in a nice recap page, it's going to have all the emails and all of the live training videos that we go through this week. So joining in the middle, they can go back to the beginning and really lay those solid foundations that we've started with on Monday. If you haven't put your email on the white list, so you can just move it. If you're getting it in your junk mail and not in your regular mail, you can move it from your junk mail to your regular inbox, and that will make sure that you're getting the emails into your regular inbox instead of your junk mail. And make sure that you're sharing and supporting each other on the Facebook page. I really want this to be a nice, tight-knit community where we're sharing our wins and our aha moments. And even if you're struggling, share it, because it's just like a question. The majority of the time, someone's been there, or someone is there just where you're at. So definitely this is a support group, and everyone's here. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same side. So just go ahead and share on the page. Okie dokie. So especially this time of year, coming into the holidays, we're always thinking of that New Year's resolution, that diet, that dreaded D word that we always just get that nasty taste in our mouth, because not very many people have a good experience with dieting. And so I really hate the word. I wish it would be deleted from the dictionary, because it's just has this negative connotation with it. And so really changing your mindset and the pathways that you think about fueling, how you fuel your body. It's not a diet, but it's how you're fueling your body to make it work and its most efficient and effective way for you. Hold on just a second. Guys, go lay down. And so really kind of, that positive way of looking at, you know, fueling your body for having good energy, getting good activity and exercise, and just feeling great. I mean, even your skin, our skin is our biggest organ, and if you change the way you eat, your skin reacts to that. So if you have problems with, you know, pimples or acne or anything like that, look at what you're eating. What you're putting in your body is, you know, you've always heard that saying, you are what you eat. Your cells are made out of the things that you put in your body. So if you're putting in processed food and all this junk food, that's what your body's cells are made of, and that's what they're going to be craving. So making sure that you're putting in real food and quality calories, which is just energy, is really going to help you in a lot of different aspects of your life. I mean, I know that if I am eating food that I know I shouldn't be eating, whether it's junk food or, you know, pizza or whatever, I definitely feel that in my energy levels in the days following. So just keeping that in mind, what you're putting in your body is what your body is making itself out of. So keeping that in mind. Another reason why diet is so unsustainable is because we definitely think of slashing calories and cutting calories to the bare minimum. And if you think of you're trying to exercise up here, but your fuel level is down here, that doesn't match up. So you're exhausted. And you just can't keep that level of exertion with low fuel. So your car doesn't run on fumes for very long. So just think about that as fueling your body when you're thinking about increasing your activity level and decreasing your calories. It just doesn't, the math doesn't add up. And so really focusing on filling your body with quality, natural, real food, you're going to feel better. You're going to get full faster. Your body is going to you know, not have those cravings, because you're not going to be having those crazy crashes when we eat those processed and chemical-laden and sugar-filled foods that, you know, come in boxes and cans and bags. So another way that I really like to look at, you know, changing your eating style, which I find is a better and more positive way of saying and talking about your diet, is to be adding in the good foods. So for an example, let's say you really like, you know, let's say pizza. And so you have pizza 4 nights a week. And instead of saying, I can never have pizza again, because that's something that you enjoy, start adding things with your pizza. So let's say you're going to add a salad with your pizza. So you start adding in these good foods, and automatically those foods that are more processed and more unnatural are going to automatically eliminate themselves for your diet. So you don't have to go through it in such a negative way, because just like anything else, as soon as you say you can't have something, that is the only thing that you can think about. Oh, you can't have those 5 cookies that are on the counter. And then they start calling your name, and then you eat all of them all in one sitting. And then you feel bad about it. So instead of just eliminating straight up cold turkey, start adding in the good things. Start adding vegetables in to every single meal that you have. Start, you know, drinking water at every meal. Start, you know, choosing a healthier option if you're going to go out to eat. So just start in a more positive way, adding things to your diet, and then over time, the bad things will just eliminate themselves from your diet. And in the emails that I sent today, I sent a picture of the plate that is like a more balanced version of like a My Plate. It's the IIN, which is the Institute for Integrative Nutrition plate, which is where I went to my health coaching school. But it kind of shows you a little bit, you know, in a visual, what a balanced meal looks like. And so I'll add that picture to the Facebook group after I get off live, so that if you haven't got the emails yet, you can still see the picture if you're in the group. So really focusing on a balanced plate with vegetables and, you know, maybe a fruit, good carbs. So a lot of people think, you know, like they never think that a vegetable is a carb, but actually vegetables have carbs in them, and so you can really use vegetables as your carb. And think about as close to nature as possible. So the least processed food that you can get. You really see, you've heard the shop around the edges. You still have to be kind of careful of that, but the real food in the vegetable section, the meats, and things like that, those are going to be the best sources of good calories. Whereas in the middle section of the store, where you're seeing the canned foods, the boxed foods, the chips, you know, and the frozen foods, things like that, those are going to be high in calories. You're not going to be sustained or fulfilled with that meal, and I'll go into that in just a second. And it's also just going to lead to this cycle of craving that kind of food, because your body is going to crave what it's made out of. So if you're eating a ton of junk food, you're going to crave a ton of junk food. If you're eating real, healthy, lean proteins, lots of veggies, your body is going to crave that because that's what it's made out of. So if we're talking about nutrition. If you're watching the replay, definitely comment. If you're live here, comment in the and, you know, ask any questions that you want. If you're watching the replay, I will go back through and I will answer questions, so feel free to ask any questions. When you're looking at products that maybe come in a box or a can that have the nutrition label on it, the nutrition facts label, one thing that we really focus on is we look at the calories, and then we look at the carbs, and then we look at the fat, and we look at the numbers in that top section. One thing I really want to stress is it's really important to look at the ingredients as well, because there is 61 different names for sugar. So when you're looking, I mean, it's very overwhelming. There is sugar in almost every processed food that is on the market, which is scary because sugar is so addicting. They've done studies that say that sugar is more addictive than some drugs. So, and it's legal. So when we're eating sugar, we go through this sugar cycle where we crave sugar, we eat sugar, and then our blood sugar drops, and so we crave more sugar, and so it's really hard to get out of that cycle. So making sure you're looking at the ingredients, making sure the ingredients in the products that you're buying are not these chemical crazy words, can't really pronounce them, or, you know, they're scary looking, and making sure that you're not just relying on the claims on the front of the package, because that can be very misleading as well. So making sure that you're doing a little bit more research on the products that you're buying, because those health claims, for an example, trans fat, I know that's a big one, and it was a really big deal, you know, 10 or so years ago, where they had a lot of trans fats, and now you see on labels where it says 0 grams of trans fat, but for them to be able to legally put that on their package, there only has to be less than, I think it's like 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. And so that's why you see the serving sizes fluctuate so differently between products. So really making sure that you are doing a little bit more research and being prepared to take some time to look at those products that you're purchasing and putting in your body, because you're eating that stuff. Another thing that is very important is, especially when it comes to like maybe losing weight or getting energy, is drinking enough water. A lot of times we don't drink enough water, and you're supposed to be drinking half of your weight in ounces per day. So if you were 120 pounds, you should at least be drinking 60 ounces of water per day. And that's at the bare minimum. That's just to keep your body a little bit hydrated. So that's very important. And one thing that being dehydrated actually does is it presents as being as you being hungry. So if you find that you just ate and you're hungry an hour later, you might just be thirsty. So really getting in your minimum required amount of water per day is going to be so critical in not overdoing it on, you know, eating. So what I do is I try to carry it everywhere. I have a couple water bottles, but here's one of them. And it's big. So this is like 32 ounces. So I try to drink 4 just because I'm pretty active. But I try to drink about 4 of them per day. And it's so much easier than just having a glass that you fill randomly. It's harder to keep track of if you just have a random glass. And with a bottle, you can take it anywhere you go. It can sit on your desk. It can go in the car. It can be with you in your purse. So making sure that you're keeping track of how much water you're drinking and really getting that at least half your weight in ounces of water per day. Okay, so if there's no questions or anything, that wraps up today's training. So if you're watching the replay, definitely comment and let me know how you guys are doing. I would love, love, love to hear how you guys are doing. So even if you're just writing a comment, you guys can write comments and they'll show up in the news feed on the group. And our group is private, so the only people that can see what you're posting are the people in the group. So I would love to hear how you're doing. And tomorrow we're talking exercise. So I've been posting a couple short workouts yesterday and today. Tomorrow we're doing a full body. It's going to be about 16 minutes long, so it's going to be a high intensity interval training workout. So that should be fun. And yeah, so definitely tell me how you guys are doing. Share this with your friends and family, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Bye-bye.